Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye up, bye up. In a menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. And I highly appreciate the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and even more so appreciative. So I did a video last week. Several people did a video, but I did a video, right, about little Smokey. You know, I was part of that family. He is part of the family. I consider him family. I consider his father not only family, but a very, very close friend. And, you know, a lot of people have a lot to say. I read a lot of the comments. For those of you that don't know what happened to little Eddie, you know, that's what I call him, little Eddie or little Smokes. He was killed. He was murdered tragically, man, in the Merced County Jail under some mysterious circumstances, and no one knows the exact situation outside of the familia. That's a fact, right? And one thing I can say this is I expressed my condolences to his mother and his father, especially his peoples, you know, his family, and I left it right there. Now, people want to know why. Why did he get hit? Why did he get whacked in the county jail? You know, there's never an answer to that situation. There's never reasoning behind why someone is killed while incarcerated. You know, there's various reasoning behind what someone does, but ultimately it's usually a mistake or a bed that they made that they're going to have to lie in. Now, when it comes to little Eddie, I just remember the nice kid that he was, the good-hearted kid, the misled and misguided, but at the same time, you know, he made his own decisions in life. Now, I read some of these comments, man, and I wanted to make this video to be frank, to be real, to be straight up and spit facts, not fucking allegations or bullshit or drama, or sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm the only one that knows anything about this situation, because I'm not. I'm sure those that are close to him know much more, but I do know a lot of bit about a little bit, and I will say this, you know, whether regardless this death is a direct result of something this guy did or not, that's nobody's business. That's between him, the knife, and the family, right? That's between him and his situation, his maker that he's going to have to make good with. Now, one thing I can tell you for facts is there's a big story going around that little Smokey snitched, or that he was a CI, or that he was working with law enforcement. He wasn't working with law enforcement. He was fucking law enforcement, right? We all know that he got caught in bed with a female officer. We all know that shit happens. You know, hey, if a fine female officer is going to be anywhere in the vicinity of a real motherfucker, she's going to get knocked backwards. It just happens. Now, there are those female officers, man, that I give them all respect. You know, law enforcement gets theirs. They got it coming. They're just doing their job. But females are females. They're just women. And when they're around men all day, and especially guys, the whole get down with these men, myself as well included, is to manipulate and kind of spin their mind up. Then I'm not surprised to see that little Eddie did that. You know, he was one of those kids that had a good mouthpiece, man. Everyone liked them, was true to the game, was a real one in the barrio, was a real one around the gente he was around, and beloved by his family. So it's a tragic end to a youngster that died at 26, regardless of the reasoning behind it. See, he has family, solid family, that I respect even to this day. Do I respect every single one of them? Nah, not even close, right? But I got to remember when I didn't have a place to go. I got to remember who looked out for me, who put food on my table. I got to remember who opened their doors to me. And his family did that. So, you know, and I did it back. I gave them places to stay overnight and things, man. We looked out for each other. We went through the struggle together. A lot of hardship. And we're from the ghetto. We grew up from the ghetto, man. And me and his dad have known each other way before little Eddie was born. Okay, I'll say that. Back when he had the primer cutlass on no ones. I don't say gold ones because they were on no ones, all right? Then he got the gold ones and it was all good. Shout out to Livas, you know, where little Eddie was from. And shout out to his familia, first and foremost. But when your kid dies, or if you've ever experienced that, hopefully you don't, you know, imagine all the people online spewing and spitting gossip and rumors for clicks and views for money, about what this kid did and didn't do. Now, obviously, he lived the gang lifestyle. He was involved heavily. He did time in Pelican Bay. He wasn't no slouch. He wasn't new to this. He was true to this. He did according to what he set out to do. But there's a lot of people calling him a rat or a snitch, or that he was telling on a murder investigation that happened. Now, let me explain something to you. There wasn't a murder investigation or a murder case that did happen that people claim little Eddie was part of. Whether he was involved in it or not, that's not to be spoken on. To me, the people that are talking about that in the comments, oh, he told on this murder case. Oh, he told, he was there. That's snitching. Now, that's snitching. Whether that man said something or he didn't, only he will know. And that paperwork will dictate that. But you could show me a stack of paperwork this high on him and I don't care. I'm not looking at it from that viewpoint. I don't give a shit if he told on you or he didn't. Regardless of that, I know the kid that I grew up around, the kid that I seen raised by his parents. That's all I care about. And these parents, man, are good people. They might not have made the right decisions in life. A lot of us haven't. But they don't deserve to see their son's name slandered on social media for bullshit ass money and views. Now, I make this video not from a standpoint of trying to get more views on it. If one person watches it, that's enough for me. But I need to speak my mind on the situation because I've seen content creators talking a lot of this and a lot of rah-rah shit, bumping baking soda breath over a keyboard about what they know and what they don't know, and how this guy was involved in feeding cops information. I talk to people. I talk to people that are very close to this kid. I, at one time, was very close to his family, right? And even more so than that, his father is like a primo to me. Even more so than you would ever know. The only reason I didn't put that out there in the beginning was because, I'm going to get the naysayers and the haters. Gunner knows everyone. Gunner somehow knows everyone. Shit. It seems like tragedy follows me, or tragedy is right around the corner with me. It's because I was really living that life. I was really involved with that lifestyle. I was really involved with family members or with people that live that lifestyle. And it's unfortunate that I have to sit here and talk about Mijo's death. I say Mijo because, man, that's what I remember him as, a young kid. Okay? Someone who didn't really get an opportunity or a chance. So yeah, I feel some type of way. I just understand where his parents are coming from and the people that are talking that shit about him. If you got something to say, why weren't you the one running up on him? He was wiggling around the Merced area, Livingston, all that, and no one decided to do anything but spit and spread false propaganda and rumors behind his back until he was in a situation where he was surrounded by whoever he was surrounded by who got accused of doing this murder. Now, whether they got him because he told or he didn't, I'm here to spit some facts. The facts is this guy didn't tell on anyone. This guy wasn't involved. This situation gets way deeper. So deep, it'll put you to sleep. It gets very deep. It gets deep to the fact that because this man was having interaction with law enforcement on a different level, not on a telling level, not feeding them information. If anything, he was in position. It's just like a guy that gets locked up and knocks him a CO. Do you automatically think that guy's telling? Or is that guy getting frajos and certain things brought in and entered to the institution that benefits the people that he's around, his ranfla, his car, right? I've been around plenty of homeboys that knocked COs and had it their way, like Burger King, Crown y Todo, right? I've been around plenty of homeboys that knocked the CO just to get a mamon. I've been around plenty of homeboys that just wanted that interaction and that relationship with the woman. They were lifers, so they did what they felt they had to do. And if she was susceptible to the business, then it was what it was. I had a tia, rest in peace her soul, that knocked the CO when she was in a women's prison just because she needed to facilitate a few things and some of that companionship of a man. She got tired of fucking Jolly Rancher fucking whatever they were making over there, right? She got tired of bumping clam. That's it. Let's just keep it real. But because this guy had this interaction, it's very easy for haters to all of a sudden twist the narrative and start making it look like he was telling, or start making it look like, he was feeding law enforcement or he was telling on a murder. Now, I'll tell you the truth, man. I talked to a homie from the town about that exact murder investigation and asked if he was involved to any degree or to any level. And I can't tell you whether he was or wasn't, even though he's not here. I'm just not going to say that. But as far as telling, the homie said, man, I know all about this situation. That dude never told on no one. So what it looks like to me is something that got blown up out of proportion. And of course, man, it's very easily for a CO or for a cop to speak or spit or whisper in someone's ear and throw some salt in the game and make a motherfucker look bad. Now, I'm not going to sit here because I know his family and because I knew him personally and defend his actions. If he was telling and if he did that, I'd be the first one to tell you, wow, I guess he lived that lifestyle. He got what he had coming to him, right? Nah, that's not the truth. The truth is, this guy might have been a lot of things, but a snitch he wasn't. That's a fact, right? Was he out there living, I see some people in comments making fun of the fact that he was squatting or living in an abandoned home. Hey, man, that man was trying to do what he had to do. Not everyone has the same benefits. Not everyone has the privilege of having supportive family members. Not everyone is born the same way with that spoon. Some are born with the spoon. Some put something in it and get it black. There's a lot of different situations, and I don't pity a man or look down on a man or talk shit about a man because he doesn't have it the way I have it. Because I've been in that same situation. I was homeless. Let me tell you a story. When I met little Eddie's family, his prima, okay, which actually ultimately became my baby's mom, I was homeless, man. I didn't have a place to go. She opened her doors for me. I'll forever respect that. Do I want her in my life? Absolutely not. Do we have a child together? Yes. And we can co-parent from a distance. But I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about her and her family because they did a lot for me. They opened doors when there was no doors right there to even be open. They did a lot more for my family than my own family was willing to do for me. And I became a part of that family. I'm no longer a part of that by choice, but I was. And I got to see the ins and outs of little Eddie's life, little Smokey's life, and how it was for him. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't great, man. And it was a tragic life, But as you see that smile right there, this guy made the best of it. He was happy. You only know what you know, right? When you've never got seasoned with paprika and don't know too much about a whole lot of it, then you just got to live and learn, right? And live with what you got and be happy. It was very concerning and alarming the way I seen some of those children raised or treated or mistreated at times. And I wasn't down with that. I try to do the best I can to be a good role model or a good figure. And I wasn't the best of a man. I get it. But when I was around the kids, I try to do the best. I try to be that one they can confide in and that one I can be like, hey, I got you if you need something. Don't trip. Things don't work out in life, but every interaction I've had in life, everything that I've done up until this point has made me the man I am, and I respect it. So yeah, I am kind of feeling something about seeing little Eddie gone. When you start gangbanging, you have to know what you sign up for. You have to be of an understanding that your life could end tragically. You have to be of the understanding that you could take a life like I did. You have to be of the understanding that, a lot of those gang members that are on the streets don't even have $10 in their pocket. These ones nowadays are a little different. They're about their money. See, back in our days, we weren't about the money. We were about violence and stripes and earning a reputation that was as bad as it could be in the streets. That's real talk, real spit, knowledge you can't get in college with no added preservatives. Little Eddie comes from that life. And the reason I know he came from that life was because I know how his father was. And his father definitely was from that life. So as a good get down, as a common courtesy to his parents, I'm asking the people that are spitting that false propaganda and calling their son a snitch and putting a false jacket on him to let that shit go, man. Stay out of the bullshit business if you don't know what it is. Because that guy comes from a solid family. He comes from solid reputation and solid people. Now, if for some reason he did say something or did do something, he's gone already. To keep speaking ill of the dead man is just not cool. Have I done it in the past? I have. I can't be a hypocrite. But as I'm getting older, I'm changing a lot of my ways and I'm realizing. And this one is very touchy. This one is a touchy subject to me because I knew him, and I know his family still to this day. And I respect them tremendously, regardless of anything. So I ask that out of respect for, their family members. Now, I will say, all the people that are talking about this murder investigation and that he was involved and that he told, perhaps, but nothing that I've heard from real ones that were around him say that he did. Okay? I think this is my perspective on it. I think when he got in bed with that cop, when he was discovered in that abandoned home with that chick, you know, and everyone put the blame on him like he did something wrong. The fact of the matter is she was laying there in that ramshackle spot as well. What kind of woman would do that, right? I feel that there was people, I'm not going to say who, that were jealous, were hateful, were hurt, were mad and upset that this guy, this gang member, you know, was able to pull something maybe they couldn't. That she chose up. Happens all the time, man. It's just part of the game, right? You got to chalk that up. And I believe that this man's name was drug under the mud or drug under the bus, through the mud and slandered. And now you have a whole bunch of people that never knew him, didn't know his characteristics. I even had one guy said, hey, man, why are you talking about he didn't even fucking like you? He would have whacked you. He wouldn't have did none of that, first and foremost. You think I'm just going to allow that to happen? Second of all, man, that kid liked me. Now, he might have grown up and not liked the standings I was in, the position I was in as far as within the northern raza and the movement. But again, man, he was like family, so I wouldn't have paid it no never mind. See, unlike other people, man, I'm not mad at the cause. I'm not disgruntled. I don't hate the Norteño movement or the Southsiders. I'm no longer part of that, but I'm going to speak my mind freely. That's why a lot of people don't like me. But the real ones that really know who I am truly behind the scenes, that lived that life with me, that jumped in them vehicles when we did our thing, that did pegadas on the yard with me, that functioned on the block with me and with the Norteño movement, that did fucking máquina side by side and sweated like some real gangsters, right? The ones that know, I ain't got to prove myself or tell them. They'll tell you. That's just how it is. Little Eddie's father knows that. His Theos know that. Shout out to Ernie, man. Respects, my brother. You already know what it is, compadre. You know, when I say that, I'm not a Northern Rider. He really is my compadre. You know what I'm saying? We actually baptized and did all kinds of things, man. It gets deep. So yeah, I'm feeling some type of way about this kid's name being drugged through mud. Did he snitch? Fuck no, he didn't snitch. He's not cut from that cloth. He didn't come from that. His family members are not accused of doing things like that. Now, I know anyone's susceptible and capable of doing anything. And I might be talking out of my ass right now. But I don't give a fuck if he did or didn't, to tell you the truth. That's none of my business. What is my business is the way people keep disrespecting this man online. And he don't got that coming. Okay? He didn't come from a situation where that's what he knew was to tell. He came from a situation, hard shell, turtle power, man. Sticking to the motherfucking grind, putting a muzzle on your teeth and keeping it on lock. That's what he came from. How do I know? Because I functioned and did things right around his family that we can't speak on, that we should never speak on. And that's the truth. You know, let me tell you guys a quick story of something I did, right? I got locked up for, so it's all good in the hood. I was in Livingston. Man. I wasn't in good standings. I wasn't active. And people really didn't know me from Levi's. There were some OG, real motherfuckers that knew who I was. They never fucking sweated me, but I knew there was going to be people that would trip for whatever reason, right? But anyways, I'm mobbing. I'm doing my motherfucking thug thizzle. And I'm walking. There's a Rite Aid over there. There used to be, right? In Levi's. It's right in the center. And it gets dangerous around there because there's a lot of active Northerners. There's no Southerners in Levi's. There's no Crips, Bloods. There's just Northerners, right? Paisas and Indios from India. And as I'm walking, I ain't even gonna lie, I had a big old monster pedazo on me. A big old fierro piece, right? Didn't have no gun because I was an ex-convict, couldn't carry a gun. Shouldn't have ever carried a knife, but, you know, I got this infatuation with Miguel Myers. So anyways, as I'm mobbing, I could see a home, the home I was staying at. I'm not going to say whose house it was, but I could see it in the distance. It was right down the street. And Lil Eddie was there. I remember he was there and some of his family members. And as I'm walking, man, a van pulls up on me. Some dudes jump out. What's up? Where you from, right? Merced, homie, what's you know, it's supposed to spread, homie. What's up? They were like Levi's Norte or whatever they said, a couple other little gangs, and they decided to get on my head, right? And let's just say it didn't work out for everybody that day. But I remember making it back to that house, and I was leaking a little bit, you know. My baby's mother was there, and I wasn't really trying to tell her what I had just got into. I didn't want her to trip, right? And little Eddie was there. He was a youngster. I remember, he's probably like, couldn't have been but 13, 14 years old, little gang member. He had a little shag in the back. I remember this motherfucker was like, let's go get it. Let's go get your runbacks. And I said, nah, mijo, you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They did what they felt they had to do, and I get why they did it. I'm a man. I had my own business, right? I don't trip. I got mine. Believe me, there's a motherfucker over there right now like, whooping, right? Believe me, I got him, right? But just what he was about. He was about family. He was about friendship. He was about, let's get it. And I'm sure, so when this motherfucker made the comment, oh, he would have got you, he wouldn't have got nothing. He'd have got his little ass whooped by the belt fucking with me, right? I'm too old for that bullshit. But I want to say rest in peace to him. And my condolences again to his family. And for all those of you that are saying he snitched, I can tell you I seen some paperwork. That man didn't tell on no one, man. That's kind of like the situation with Fat Tone and the Mac Dre, right? Where everyone was blaming him. And because so many people started blaming Fat Tone, people started to really fucking believe it. And he ended up getting whacked over it. Same situation, man. Motherfuckers gonna say a lot of things. They say a lot about things about me online, man. You know, and you don't see how you affect someone else's life by saying these things. There's other Bawusos, other J-Cats that might believe there's some truth to it and try to do some. And then, there they go. Prison, infirmary. They're in trouble. That's just what it is. Anyways, I wanted to put that out there. My ultimate respects to him and all his family, you know. I know what they're going through, man. And it's just a bad situation. It's an unfortunate situation. And I'll send my love, man. That's real. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Rest in peace, little Smokey, man. You'll forever be in the heart, homie. Bang, bang.